youngsters from 5 to 65, we present the story of Tommy the Tuba.
Once upon a time, there was a great orchestra. There were strings, brass, woodwind, and all the instruments were very happy. Except, that is, for one, little Tommy the tuba. Oh, how he wished he had a tune to play, like all the others. But Tommy the tuba had no tune, and he just sat there and cried. Then, one day, he heard a voice. It was the piano. Why are you crying? Asked the piano.
Because I have no tune to play.
Answered Tommy. We can soon put that right, said the piano.
Oh, my, what a lovely tune,
said Tommy. It's yours, Tommy, said the piano, and threw the little tune to the trumpet. Then he threw the little tune to the trombone, and the little tune was caught by the clarinet. Then all the instruments played the little tune together. Here's your tune, Tommy, they all shouted, and they threw the little tune to Tommy.
Oh, thank you,
he cried, and he began to play. Sorry!
Relentlessly, the Angus Prune tune brings the quivering microphone. This week's edition of Tim Brooke Taylor, John Cleese, Graham Garden, David Hatch, and Joe Kendall. Did you notice the missing person? Yes, you're right. Bill Oddie can't be with us tonight, but the show must go on. And here is John Otto Cleese to tell you why.
Because it's I'm sorry, I'll read that again.
I'm sorry, I'll read that again. Report. Today we report on hobbies. Just how do we spend our spare time? For instance, collecting things is a popular hobby, and one which we all probably did as children.
Now then, how old are you?
I'm 4.
And what do you collect?
I collect stamps.
Do you like all the pretty colors?
Yeah.
And is that why you collect them?
That's because they're a good investment with a yield of 4.5%
Very good, I see. And how old are you, young man?
I'm 3.
And what's your name?
Jimmy.
And what do you collect, Jimmy?
I collect worms and I collect snails and
really? Well,
I cut them off into little pieces and I put them in Daddy's teeth.
Good. Well, and of course, many people go on collecting stamps when they grow up.
Now then, this is an interesting little chap. You see, it's a genuine penny black, still on the original envelope, posted in 1887.
And how much did you pay for that?
Oh, I didn't. It was only delivered yesterday.
Yes, philately will get you nowhere. Collecting paintings, old jokes, and works of art is another popular hobby amongst those who can afford it. The wealthy industrialist Maximilian Quid has a priceless art collection. Mr. Quid,
yes?
I notice many of your paintings are pictures of elderly school teachers.
Yes, they're old masters.
Yes. I see you have a work here by Rubens.
Yes.
Van Dyck.
Yes.
Titian.
Bless you.
Yes. And this one here, it looks like a constable.
What? Oh, no. That's a Picasso. Chief Inspector Picasso. But here's one that might interest you. It's by Leonardo.
Leonardo da Vinci.
No, Leonardo da Vindo.
But for those of us who prefer good music, grace, and glamour, there's always ballroom dancing to avoid. But if you don't fancy going round and round in circles with a number on your back...
I had enough of that in prison.
There's always plenty of fun to be had and lots of things to learn at night school.
All right, then, you knight. Smarten up there, you overlook. I see that armor gleaming right there tonight.
Listen, Dragon's fiery mode of attacking procedure for disposal. Stop talking in the ranks there. And you at the back, get your plume cut. Now, taking aim for the underbelly, soft white Dragon's fiery for the yourself. You raise your lance parallel with the ground with the sharp end pointed away from you, and you get it the right way around. I don't want you riding home like Fitzcaber. All right, then, you knight. Sorry, knight. You knight. What did you knight? Knight, sit.
Actually, that's not the sort of night school I meant.
Now he tells me. In fact, there are lots of really fascinating and useful things you can learn at night school. For instance, the art of judo.
Well, there he was, following me home down this dark alleyway.
Oh.
Well, he was asking for it, so I gave her a quick chung-ping.
Oh.
I followed that with a sen su, then a sack-tie chop,
Oh.
and finished off with a bateau chak min.
Oh, what happened?
Well, half an hour later, he was hungry again.
And, of course, you can take night classes and do it yourself.
I didn't say a single word.
Mr. and Mrs. Wall Carpeting live in a house which they built entirely themselves, using materials obtainable for a few pence from your local greengrocer. I spoke to the man of the house, Walter Wall Carpeting.
Well, it is really amazing, you know, the things you can make out of odds and ends. For instance, I made a three-piece suite out of 3 empty oil drums.
That's amazing. A 3-piece suite out of 3 dirty old oil drums like these.
That is the 3-piece suite.
Oh, well, what else have you done?
Well, let me see. I made a hat stand.
How do you make a hat stand?
See the national anthem. And let me see. Oh, yes, I made this table. I made this table out of an old table. And, I made most of the things in this house.
What about your wife?
Oh, yes.
Well, Mr. Wall Carpeting, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and now push on.
Yes, you're a real topster.
Of course. For those of us with simpler tastes, there's always the pleasure of a chat with friends at the club.
Long-haired fellas. Long-haired fellas. Long-haired fellas. Do you know the trouble with the youth of today? They're spoiled. Spoiled? In our young days, we had to make our own amusement. We didn't have television sets. No television. We had to sit there staring into the corner all night. No television. Modern youngsters don't understand things like that. Well, that's because they don't have to make their own amusements like we did. The whole family used to join in. Musical evening. Father at the piano, mother on the violin, sister on the cello, Miles Davis on trumpet, and vocal by Billie Holiday. Tell that to these modern youngsters, they'll laugh in your face. Happy days. Ah, well, be off. Oh, where are you going? I'm off to see nudes in the sun. I think I'll come with you. Yes, a damn sight more fun than going to the pictures.
And now, a catchy little number from John Cleese. You've had the ballad of Jesse James, the ballad of Bonnie and Clyde, and now here's the ballad of Oliver Cromwell.
Born in 1599 and died in 1658. September was the first only MP for Huntingdon, but then he led the Ironside Cavalry at Marston Moor in 1644 and won. Then he founded the new model army, and praise be the Cavaliers that navy, hooray! And the king fled up north to the Scots. But under the terms of John Tim's solemn league and covenant, the Scots handed King Charles over to and his war born in 1599 and died in 1658 September. But alas, I beg disagreement between the Presbyterian Parliament and the military, who meant to have an independent bent, and so the Second Civil War broke out, and the Roundhead ranks faced the Cavaliers at Preston length, and the king lost again. Silly thing you did get.
Cromwell sent Colonel Pride to purge the House of Commons of the Presbyterian Royalists, leaving behind only the Rump Parliament,
which appointed a High Court at Westminster Hall to indict Charles I for tyranny. Charles was sentenced to death, even though he refused to accept that the court had jurisdiction. Say goodbye to his head. Oh, King Charles raised his head on the block.
January 1649.
Down came the axe, and
In the silence that followed, the only sounds that could be heard was a solitary giggle from... 1599 and died in 1658 September.
Then he smashed Ireland, set up the Commonwealth and more.
He crushed the Scots at Worcester and beat the Dutch at sea in 1653 about.
Then he overrumped Parliament.
With Lambert's consent, wrote the instrument of government under which Oliver was protector at law.
Hooray!
He died in 1658 when his son Richard took over, but Richard wasn't as good as Oliver. Here is yet another news flash. Yet another supermarket was broken into yesterday, and 50 packets of birdseed, a pair of sensible boots, and an umbrella were stolen. Police are looking for a budgerigar on a walking tour in Manchester.
Excuse me, dearest.
What is it, Mother?
It's that Reuben, the new farmhand you wanted to see.
Oh, yes. Come on in, Reuben.
What are you going to Arthur?
Now, Reuben, sit down.
Oh, God, no bless you, sir, Arthur.
Sit. Sit, Reuben, sit. Good. Now then, Reuben. I've asked you here to, What are you smoking in that old pipe of yours, Reuben?
It's Carly K. on Murray, sir.
Oh, God.
Carly, pick it up, sir. Says Carly there kills her.
Yes, well, I'm sure it puts hairs on your chest. I know it does wonders for my roses. Now, Reuben, I want to talk to you about your work here.
Oh, no one can, boy.
Well, since you asked for a start, you're careless. I mean, last week you left that gate open and the bull got out. He ended up in the pigsty. And you know what happened there.
I'm swearing good, master.
Well, I don't care, Reuben. The fact remains, when next spring comes round, what am I going to do with a herd of little Aberdeen Angus piglets?
You call them Mark Tutt or some boy, sir.
No, Reuben, I don't think I could make them into individual veal and ham pies. And another thing, Reuben. What about that combine harvester yesterday?
Oh, well, muggly boys, sir.
Sorry, I should think you are sorry. I suppose it was my fault for telling you that the machine could do just about anything, but even you should have realized that plucking chickens is delicate.
Tween twirlings,
Yes, I know you plucked over 2,000 of them in 40 seconds dead. 9 of them alive. You also plucked 14 geese, 5 pigs, a sparrow, 3.5 sheep, left my wife bald, and gave Jenny the milkmaid a very nasty shock. If you're quite innocently bending over a milk churn, you don't expect a combine harvester to come up the house.
Intruder! Trying for him, Colonel Master! Iron spoily noser and nugget to eat!
Maybe, Reuben, but she'll never play the cello again. Just this once, I'll overlook it as useful high spirits. But I must warn you, Reuben, that if you cause any more trouble, you'll have to go.
Go, sir! Saint Royley, Master! Saint Royley with them Draculums! Coin and coin till Jarrett's army diddle! Look to the ID! And Royley drugs you that'll get remaining! Nah!
Well, Reuben, I'm glad we understand each other.
Where's Leggett's mother out?
Oh, dear, I can't wait till he gets back to university.
And now, John, this week, you introduced the serial.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, once again for your entertainment tonight, we bring you a powerful package of pulsating passion. An adventure story like you've never known before. It's exciting, it's terrific. It's this week's episode of your favorite serial. Yes, it's absolutely great. It's wonderful.
He's forgotten its name.
It's the serial that's got everything. You know it.
Don't tell him.
Yeah, I know it.
Just let him suffer.
So there's no need to tell you what it's called.
Yes, there
You
is.
filled with episode one.
What's it called?
What's it got? So here.
He'll panic now.
Before your very eyes, I shall sing selections from Gilbert and Sullivan. Like the rhubarb crop.
He'll start making animal noises any minute. There he goes.
And so, without further ado, we bring you episode 4 of Professor Prune and the Electric Time Powder.
The time travelers.
before our very eyes.
Oh, don't be too depressed. Just keep hoping.
But if battle can be written out, it could happen to me. Or if I'm stopped.
Yes. So just keep hoping.
But, Uncle, I think we should down low for battle.
No, I'm afraid we can't.
Why not?
Well, you know when I showed you the trouser controls and explained the buttons marked up and down?
Yes.
Remember when we escaped from Queen Elizabeth last week?
Yes.
And how she made a last desperate grab at the trouser?
Yes.
Well, I'm afraid she tore one off. So now, I've only got one button marked up. I can make a forced landing, but I can't control where or when. Right now, we're being swept through different times and places.
Oh, dear.
Wait, I've got an idea. Switch on the radio. If we can pick up the local news, that should tell us where we are.
Great idea.
Here is the news for today, the 20th of January, 1969. In Cambridgeshire early yesterday morning, a police constable reported seeing a pair of luminous trousers travelling in a southwesterly direction at a height of 1,000 feet. The constable was sacked for being drunk on duty. Every minute now, we're getting reports of what appear to be a pair of trousers travelling at incredible speeds. An Air Ministry spokesman says there is no cause for panic. The object is probably only a flying saucer.
On and on they whirled through time and space with their ears glued to the radio.
Here is that right news and hours 1942 split. This morning over Berlin there is their Spitfires, their Zeppelins, and now their flying trousers. It is French the sneaky vanishes. Herr Heil das Jahr Hitler announced. Their flying trousers. Splat the flying trousers. Their flying trousers have demonstrated haben das invincible getan. Their exploding Tommy knickers. And now a little light machine gun fire.
Flying trousers. I'm sorry, I'll leave that again. Flying trousers.
This is the BBC. The swarm of locusts at present over Ramoth Gilead is moving away south. A certain Philistine today beheld in the east a pair of trousers on high. Soothsayers have interpreted the coming of a plague of flies.
No. It's no use. We'll just have to take a chance.
I'll switch the engine off and down we go.
So saying, Percy threw the switch.
Yes, that's up.
Now the trousers began to fall rapidly.
Oh, we're losing height fast. Percy, give me a reading.
Certainly. I wandered lonely as a cat.
Down they went.
20,000 feet, 10,000 feet, 100 feet, 50 feet, 1 foot, 6 inches. 2 fathoms, 100 fathoms.
Till they came to rest on the seabed.
Well, now, we're certainly in a tight spot.
Uncle, what's that noise?
Just Spot getting another cheap round of applause.
All right, that does it. I'm fed up with Brooke Taylor getting applause for going woof. They have to work for it, you know. I've spent years learning how to act. I don't just get up in front of a microphone and go bow.
John, you mustn't resent it. After all, you've got a nice big motor car and a flat in fashionable Knightsbridge and 6 kittens and a stuffed leather rhino. I mean, all Timothy's got is his woof. You don't begrudge him that, do you?
Yes,
Well, what more do you want?
I want to go woof.
All right, you can have it. I crave not the acclaim of the masses. The sound of raucous applause means nothing to me. After all, I am at heart an actor. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of trouble, and by opposing...
But meanwhile, the water was flooding into the time trousers.
It's all right. The water was coming in at the top, so I drilled a hole in the bottom for it to flow out of.
Uncle, we'd better get out of here.
Wait a minute. We're at the bottom of the sea. We can't go out there wearing ordinary clothes. Where's my bikini?
Quickly, they scrambled into their underwater equipment.
Say, Uncle, what a funny place to wear a snorkel.
a snorkel. It's my pipe. I think of it as a funny place to wear a pipe. Come on! Come on, everybody! Come on! Out we go!
Gosh, I wonder how deep we are.
Ardo, tie this tape measure to Spot, then let him swim to the surface and he can tell us what it's like up there.
What's it there, Spot? Wait a minute. Spot doesn't look at all well.
Good.
John?
Did you put on his diving helmet?
Yes, and I connected the oxygen pipe to his mouth.
Oxygen pipe? It's his tail!
He's gasping for breath so hard he's inflating himself. He's floating away. Oh, poor Spot. Catch him.
Too late.
And so Spot met his terrible end. The faithful companion who stood by them for so long was no more. No longer would he climb on their knees and lick them when they needed comfort. Spot was no more. Never again would they hear that friendly woof.
At that moment, along swam a shoal of dogfish. All around them were all manner of sea creatures, and they sat watching them on a coral reef. Oh, coral singers. And one by one, they named the fish they saw. There now follows an attempt on the World Fish Joke Record. Are you ready? On your marks. Set. Look, a fish playing a guitar.
Julian Green.
And on drums.
Max Roach.
And one on bass fiddle.
And a fairy salmon. Salmon shot this evening.
Or it could be I'm never in Manta Ray.
And there's a little soul.
Oh, yeah, baby. I didn't catch that. You must need a herring head. Don't shout. Your head beat.
Don't cough.
Here comes the oyster parade.
Ah, happy days are here again.
And one of those scruffy little boys.
Sea urchins. What were those?
Smelt.
They still do.
And there's one that looks like Julie Andrews.
Hey, starfish.
Another carrying today's newspaper.
Tropical fish. That was a sharking one.
Happy shellfish.
You're losing your sense of porpoise.
I feel ill.
Don't flounder. Then welcome to a sardine end. Here is the result of that event. I'm sorry, I'll read that again. Team scored 22 fish jokes in 45.3 seconds, a new British, European, and world record. They will now collect their prize of 6 squid each. For hours, the professor and his little party searched the ocean floor. Oh, back to that.
Good grief. Yummy. Crisp. Humbug's uncle. Look over there. Whatever is that ancient twisted old net?
It's Lady Constance.
Wrong.
Oh. Queen Elizabeth.
Wrong again. Try Persephone of the sea nymph.
Persephone, the sea nymph.
Wrong again.
Gosh, is she a siren?
No, she only sounds like one.
I am Miranda the mermaid.
You forgive me. For a moment I mistook you for some romantic old hawk that used to have sailors clambering all over it.
Oh, those were the days. Who are you?
Oh, I am Professor Prune, scientist and explorer.
Oh, well, I'm sure I can find something for you to explore.
Tell me, do you know anything of a lost city covered by water?
Ah, Manchester.
No, I believe they call it Atlantis.
Atlantis! Oh! Don't talk to me about Atlantis!
Why not?
I've never heard of it.
Well, I'm sure that it exists somewhere on the seabed.
Very well. I shall take you to King Neptune. He should know about it. Follow me.
With a seductive flick of her tail, she disappeared into a yawning cavern.
Yawn.
Quick, after her!
Quick, after her.
Yes, quick after me.
Where are you?
Come and find me. You're cold.
This way?
Still cold.
I think I'm getting warmer now.
Good. When you're on the ball, let me know.
At that moment, the professor dived for the bottom.
Oh, cheeky thing. Come then, to King Neptune.
So off they swam, and around them the seaweed gently waved. And all the anemones were rippled by a cross current. Oh, I am cross. The whole
scene was so beautiful and peaceful, till suddenly everything went black. Something above them was casting a giant, hideous shadow.
Miranda.
It's not me.
I know, but what is it?
It is our deadly enemy, a huge man-eating fish. Worse than sharks, worse than whales.
Nothing's worse than whales, except possibly Birmingham.
But what do you call this monster?
It is known as
Yes?
the Caliber Cob.
Can our friends escape the dreaded fish fingers of the giant fish and avoid becoming cod pieces? Can Basil be written back in again next week? Will we ever hear from Spot again?
No.
Did we really miss Bill Oddie? Listen next week to episode 5 of Professor Prune and...
The Time Trouser.
I'm sorry I'll read that again goes down in the West, and soon peace will reign over the airwaves. The voices you heard were those of Tim Brooke Taylor, John Cleese, Graham Garden, David Hatch, and Joe Kendall. The script was by Graham Garden and Bill Oddie, with additional material by John Junkin and John Cleese. Graham Chapman and John Cleese wrote the words of the song, and Chopin wrote the music.
And as there are only 269 Chopin days to Christmas, don't forget your Chopin list.
The rest of the music was arranged by Liam Cohen and played by Dave Lee and the boys. The whole was produced by David Hatch and Peter Titheridge, who fell into it. And John Otto Cleese has this comfort for all suffering listeners.
Oh, no, it's I'm sorry. I'll read that again, folks, again.